I want to talk to you about ShipBob versus Amazon MCF versus Complemar, and we are speaking about e-commerce fulfillment. In today's conversation, I want to do a comparative analysis of those three players, so you have a clear idea about what we are talking about when we're talking about ShipBob, Amazon MCF, or Complemar. So here's a review I want you to pay attention to. I want to first start with ShipBob e-commerce fulfillment. Okay, when you think about ShipBob, I want you to think about a global e-commerce fulfillment service. So they actually they cater to all kinds of entrepreneurs, not just U.S. based, but also in Europe, in Asia, in Africa, and what have you. So that's good. That's really good. We love the fact that ShipBob has several company partners. So we're talking about DHL, FedEx, and so on and so forth. So that's really good in terms of giving you an all-in-one platform. That's really fantastic. Now I want to talk quickly about the good and bad when it comes to ShipBob, so you have a clear idea what to really go for. First of all, you have let's talk about the pros first. So you have customizable orders, you have 2-day shipping, you have reliable international fulfillment, you have an intuitive interface, you have seamless integration. So those are the top five pros, the top five advantages that you should really contemplate when you're thinking about ShipBob. Okay, so customizable orders. ShipBob has a customization suite that allows you to create an unforgettable unboxing experience for your customers. So that's really good. You can use unique boxes or mailers. You can add marketing inserts. You can print customer gift notes. You can add your brand names to shipping labels and even customize how customers view your inventory. So that's kind of cool. You have 2-day shipping. You have reliable international fulfillment. So they have centers spread across the US, Canada, Europe, and Australia. So basically, when you think about ShipBob, I want you to think about a global fulfillment capability, set of capabilities that help you give your e-commerce store global reach too. So you can ship to other countries with standard and expedited options and eliminate any hiccups by using ShipBob's delivered duty paid, their DDP shipping. And through ShipBob's very powerful analytics and dashboard, you can manage your global fulfillment from one login with the same ease as your US-based order. So that's kind of cool in terms of giving you flexibility in your e-commerce store. Now let's talk about the cons, the disadvantages of ShipBob. You have customization can get pricey. You have growing pains in terms of the 2-day shipping, and you have customer service that's really lackluster right now when it comes to ShipBob. Boss, welcome back to the show. It's really a pleasure to have you here. Make yourself comfortable. You are going to enjoy today's conversation. Talking about pricing, let's talk about ShipBob in terms of pricing. How do they price? Now, obviously, they want you to contact them. They don't have a transparent pricing plan or pricing model. You have to contact the ShipBob to have a clear idea about how they charge you. Now, remember that they have all kinds of options. They have a fulfillment platform. Sorry, they have a marketplace. So when we talk about fulfillment platform, we're talking about all kinds of orders. So it depends on what you want them to do for you. Do you want them to pick, pack, and ship orders for you? Because ShipBob actually has an omni-channel fulfillment process, so you can fulfill orders and manage everything related to customer orders. So you can handle purchases through Amazon, Walmart, Facebook, Google, Etsy, and eBay, as well as your own website and even offline channels. So this is kind of cool. And ShipBob can help you prevent overselling or running into stockouts. You can view real-time and historical stock levels and keep a finger on the pulse of your inventory no matter how many selling channels you are juggling. And ShipBob stores your inventory, picks, packs, and ships your orders, plus allows you to automate order management and third-party shipping. You can also tap into a B2B specific fulfillment features to handle restock requests and new orders from retailers you provide your products to. So that's kind of cool. And that also includes a ShipBob handling a retail display, packaging, and other details. So that's kind of cool in terms of flexibility there, okay? And when we talk about ShipBob, you cannot actually ignore the fact that they have a very powerful marketplace. So ShipBob's partner and integration marketplace is really extensive, providing an array of ways to actually weave ShipBob into your tech stack. So you can tap into integrations for Shopify Plus, WooCommerce, and others to match your e-commerce platform of choice. You can actually sync ShipBob with Gorgeous for example, uh, Clavio, and others to have your fulfillment platform play nicely with your customer service and marketing software. So that's kind of cool in terms of the flexibility. I want to insist on the flexibility, right? So overall, when you think about ShipBob, think about a great e-commerce fulfillment network that actually rivals the likes of a Shopify fulfillment network and also FBA fulfillment by Amazon. So that's kind of cool. Boss, I want to quickly remind you of today's topic. We are talking about Shopify. We are talking about ShipBob versus Amazon MCF versus Complemar. I want to talk to you now about Amazon MCF. So when we talk about Amazon MCF, what are we talking about? We're talking about Amazon multi-channel fulfillment. Okay, that's what MCF really means. So this is actually an Amazon program that works like FBA, but for non-Amazon selling channels. In other words, MCF enables independent businesses and sellers to use Amazon's fulfillment expertise to store, pack, and ship orders to their customers outside of Amazon marketplaces. So everything with MCF happens outside of Amazon marketplaces. And Amazon MCF comes under the umbrella of FBA. So it's really part of FBA when you think about it. And that's how they think about MCF strategically, but also organizationally. So you can actually use MCF without selling on Amazon. That's fine. You don't need to be an Amazon seller to use MCF. This fulfillment service is available for everyone. So whether you're an Amazon seller with a non-Amazon selling platforms, a business operating on a third-party marketplace, or someone with their own independent online storefront, you can use MCF, not a problem. Okay, now just remember that you need to have an Amazon account to use the MCF. This account will register you as an MCF member in the Amazon database. Also, having an Amazon account is important to get Seller Central access to MCF. So you got to really have that. Now, there are some countries now MCF is not available. It's not available globally. There are a few countries right now that are actually part of the MCF program, as Amazon is trying to roll out this program gradually. So right now, Amazon MCF is available in Australia, Canada, France, Germany, Italy, Japan, Mexico, Spain, United Kingdom, and United States, of course. So you are able to actually create and process orders through Seller Central. So everything happens through a Seller Central. So if you want to really get to your, you are able to create a single MCF order on Seller Central. You can create a bulk MCF order on MCF. You can actually have integrations also. So there are web plugins in MCF. So you have BigCommerce, Adobe Commerce, now called Magento, Groupon, Shopify, Shift4Shop, VTEX, Wix, and WooCommerce. Okay, that's really good. And you are able also to track Amazon MCF orders. So you can easily track your Amazon MCF orders through your Seller Central account. Open the order, drop down from the homepage and click Manage Orders. Then you want to enter the ID of the order you want to track in the search bar and click Enter. It will open it will open a page that will display all the shipping information of the order. So that's kind of important. What I want to talk to you about now is the fact that I want to talk to you about how to handle Amazon MCF returns, because returns are part and parcel of any online business, and gigs using Amazon MCF are no exceptions, that's for sure. Now, Amazon allows you to select the destination of any return order. What happens here is that you can either get it back in your own storage facility or route it to the Amazon fulfillment center. Now, there are costs that come with that fulfillment center sort of rerouting. So if a return entails a defective product or an item with a short shelf life, it is actually better not to send it back to FBA centers, because otherwise you would just lose money, right? For all other returns, go to the fulfillment centers, because Amazon will then repackage and relist those items for future MCF orders. So you got to really see, on a case-by-case basis, what really makes sense for you. And if you want to receive the return orders, communicate with the customers and guide them on how to send them back to your warehouse. However, if you want the returns to head to an Amazon fulfillment center, you can do it via Seller Central or through an API integrated system. So that's kind of important. So since managing returns through a Seller Central is manual work, you will need the following. You need to follow some steps, right? So open the particular order and click the Create Customer Return tab, or choose the return quantity and mention the return reason. I mean, you always have to mention the return reason, right? Now, what happens here is that when you go through that process, you are generating an RMA form, so a Return Merchandise Authorization form. So this form contains a label with the return address of a particular FBA center. Customers are required to attach this label to the product they want to return. Then there is a slip with the product description and barcode, and this slip should also be enclosed in the return package. So that's kind of important to think about it. Now let me talk to you about the fees here. What are the MCF fees? You have two types of fees normally. You have a fulfillment fee and you have storage fee. In case you want Amazon to store your items, you have to pay for those. Okay. Now the fees will be different. Okay, you have to go through your Seller Central account to see what fees apply to your specific orders. So you have the fulfillment fees. You have a standard 3 to 5 business days shipping, expedited 2 business day shipping, and priority next business day shipping. So everything depends upon how fast you want things to actually go back to your customers. So it is what it is. So at the end of the day, you gotta ask yourself, what do you want to achieve? Do you want to solidify your relationship with your customer, or you just want to make some quick cash? Boss, I want to quickly remind you of today's topic. We are having a conversation about Amazon MCF versus Complemar versus ShipBob. I want to talk to you now about Complemar. So when you think about Complemar, I want you to think about a larger company. They've been in business for over 70 years now. They're not as large as Amazon, or they're not as large as ShipBob, but they have been in business for very. I mean, ShipBob is a relatively newcomer on the logistics and e-commerce fulfillment stage, if you will. But Complemar has been around for more than 70 years. Of course, 70 years ago, they weren't doing e-commerce fulfillment. They were doing something else, something related. But the cool thing is that they have a lot of customers and they're growing fast too. So when you think about Complemar, I want you to think about a full suite of services. I want you to think about a refund management that's really fast, that's really improved there. And you have a guaranteed 99.99% inventory accuracy, order accuracy, and on-time delivery. So that's kind of cool in terms of flexibility, right? And now the only drawbacks that we see with Complemar is that they only have 5 fulfillment centers, and there is no international shipping. So there's no international. If you want international shipping, you're not going to have that. You're not going to have that through Complemar. So Complemar actually, long story short, offers a full suite of e-commerce solutions, from order fulfillment services and returns management to co-packing, kitting, and product assembly services. And the cool thing is this company is compatible with brands that sell health and beauty products, subscription boxes, telecom products, and wine and spirits. So that's kind of cool. And so they have 4 to 5 warehouses across the U.S. with a total of over 300,000 square feet in storage space. So while the warehouses are strategically located, storage space might become a challenge if you decide to scale your brand. So with Complemar, the problem is scaling. If you want to scale your brand, this could be a little problematic. But long story short, they are they're very fast. They have an in-house software tool that actually integrates pretty well with 100 third-party applications. This is kind of cool. So with Complemar, what you have inventory, you have reporting and insights, you have fulfillment, and you have on-time delivery. So when we talk about inventory, basically you have a comprehensive view of your inventory at every stage, from the moment you ship products to them to the moment they are sent out to a customer. And inventory statuses include in transit, delivered, and in stock, with detailed reporting. So that's really cool. And in terms of reporting and insights, they basically have inventory reports, material receipts reports. They have order detail reports. They have reorder reports, and they have tracking reports. So that's really, really detailed and granular. So we love that a lot. And one thing we love about Complemar is that when you talk about fulfillment, they really give you a fulfillment checklist, so you are always clear as to what you're getting yourself into. Okay, so you have you can choose a same day pick, pack, and ship. You can have whether you want to have all shipping and carrier options available. You are able to see the strategically located fulfillment centers, the 4 or 5 that they have. And if you want them to have a value added services, they're able to do so as well. So that's really good. So we're talking about, when we talk about value added services, we are speaking about co-packing, kitting, printing, returns management. So that's really cool in terms of managing your reputation. And so when we talk about co-packing and kitting, for instance, through a Complemar, so it really depends on what you want. So whether your products are food or beverage, phone, cars, electronics, medical devices, or anything else, basically you can actually rely on Complemar to take care of packaging, kitting, and product assembly needs for you. So, and again, they've been doing this for more than 70 years. So that's really good. And so what we love about Complemar is that beyond the fact that they have more than 100 integrations, we love the fact that they actually have a long list of very important tasks when it comes to e-commerce fulfillment. For example, you have assembly, you have bundling, you have kitting, you have display building, you have cartooning, you have quality inspection, you have shrink wrapping, you have shrink sleeving, you have blister sealing, you have flow wrapping, you have affixing, tape on, and you have labeling. So that's kind of cool in terms of giving you the flexibility you need. And you also have a returns management with Complemar. So that's really good. Now, what we don't like with Complemar is the fact that they don't have that many locations, and the fact that you are not going to ship overseas. I mean, it's one of those things where, I mean, their 4 locations are in Rochester, New York, Harrisburg, Pennsylvania, Reno, Nevada, and Oklahoma City, Oklahoma. So those are the 4 places. I mean, the four places are strategically located. That's for sure, because they have a one location like Reno, for instance. That's on the West Coast. I mean, Oklahoma in the South, Oklahoma City in the South, Harrisburg and Rochester, New York on the East Coast. That's really strategically located. That's true. But if you want to go international, you're not going to really get anything through a Complemar. So here is an overview here. When we talk about ShipBob versus Amazon MCF versus Complemar, what are we are really talking about here? First of all, how do you choose a fulfillment company before you actually decide whether ShipBob is the right option for you, Amazon MCF is the right option for you, or Complemar? So first of all, when you think about choosing a fulfillment company, you got to think about shipping speeds. You want to think about the location fulfillment warehouses. I mean, when you think about Complemar, for instance, when they have 4 versus ShipBob or Amazon MCF that really covers the whole globe, you got to really ask yourself what's important for you, right? So the location of fulfillment warehouses is an important element when it comes to the final analysis in choosing your e-fulfillment service. And we are talking also about the features of order fulfillment software, because the whole thing is that not just having just a fulfillment service is kind of important, but some features may be important or less relevant depending upon the chronology, the geography, or the niche you're in. So we are talking about the things like, for instance, you have integrations. Of course, you want to have for instance, 1-day shipping, 2-day shipping, the ability to integrate with a third-party carrier. Also, you want to look at transparency and visibility. That's another criterion that you want to pay attention to as you choose your e-commerce fulfillment. You also want to look at branding options. Okay, the whole thing is that there are millions of e-commerce businesses, and they are all competing for consumers' attention. So you have to be able to stand out. And how do you stand out? You have to brand, and branding actually plays an important role, especially if you are outsourcing e-commerce fulfillment. You want actually to still have you want to hold control over the whole process, and so branding options are therefore important. Packaging options also are another important criterion. You have returns management and you have cost. So long story short, ShipBob versus Amazon MCF versus Complemar. Here is our decision. Which one should you go for? So our decision is you want to go for ShipBob. Why? ShipBob actually struck the right balance in our view when it comes to e-commerce fulfillment, not only globally but also in terms of inclusiveness. Why? Because if you were to go with Amazon MCF, you cannot sell on Amazon. You have to sell on on other platforms. If you go with Complemar, you cannot sell internationally. You can only sell nationally, but they only have a four warehouses. Amazon is kind of cool in terms of global logistical dominance, but you have the exclusivity that you only have to sell on other platforms. And also ShipBob, it really doesn't have any restrictions really. On top of that, they cover the whole world, so that's just fantastic. So our preference is ShipBob. Thank you so much for your attention. I really appreciate it. In today's conversation, I did a quick compare and contrast between ShipBob, Amazon MCF, and Complemar. I give you the review, and then I give you the overview, and then now I'm giving you the decision. Thank you so much. God bless you. I'll see you next time. Until then, remember, stay marvelous.